Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make sourdough pita bread. It's such an easy bread to make and it is so delicious. And I just pulled these out of the oven. I'm going to show you how nice and soft that is. So let's get cooking. Here I have a quarter cup of lukewarm water. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of activated dry yeast. So we're gonna let this blossom for about 5 to 10 minutes while I incorporate all the other ingredients. Let that sit here. And then I have 1 cup of lukewarm water. You're gonna love this. 6 egg whites, 200 grams of my starter, quarter cup of olive oil with a quarter cup of vegetable oil. So I'm lightening up the oil. Now to sweeten things up, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of honey. Trust me, it's going to really be good. Okay, the starter is mixed in with all the liquid. Now I'm starting to see some bubbles right here. So I'm going to throw that in. You could let it sit a little bit longer, but this should do. All right, I'm gonna go in with my dry ingredients, which is 750 grams of bread flour. It's a stronger kind of flour, so make sure you use bread flour, and 150 grams of whole wheat flour. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the salt, which is about 23 grams. And mix that in. So once everything comes together, I'm going to let it rest for about half an hour to an hour, anywhere in between, and then I'll come back to it and I'll tell you guys what to do. Just make sure your kitchen towel is a bit damp and cover it up. All right, so it's been about 40 minutes and my dough has rested. I am going, so it looks the same, it just feels a little bit softer. I'm going to take it out. So do this about 5 minutes or so. Work your dough a little bit to create that elasticity. Grab some warm water. Just make your hand a little bit moist, and then you can handle the dough much better that way. Okay, I did this for about 5 minutes or so. And then my dough, it's going to rest for the second fermentation. You see? So you can put it in the bowl, but I like to put it in an airtight container. Make sure you have some olive oil covering the whole surface, the top and the bottom. That goes in, and I will see this in 24 hours. You could also use a mixer with a hook attachment to knead your dough. So this dough has been sitting in the fridge for 24 hours. I made this yesterday, and as you see, look at that, it looks beautiful. It has tripled in size. I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna cut this into 16 pieces. Now, if you want to be exact, use a scale. When you cut the pieces, you can measure them, but I am going to do it in a rustic way. So I have about 16 pieces here. I'm going to grab a piece, make it flat with your hands, and then squeeze all the ends together, forming a ball. So sometimes the dough is very sticky and it doesn't want to cooperate with you. So what I do, I just put a little bit of olive oil on my hand, not too much, just a little bit, and then so much easier to work with. And you get to it's much easier to roll as well. You see? Beautiful. Line it up with a piece of cloth. And I've got black sesame seed and white sesame seed. Just for the contrast, you can use just one kind of sesame seed. Now, pick up the bread and just dip it in all the way, everywhere. I like them with sesame seed, but you can have them plain as well. And there we have it. So pretty. Now these are going to go in the fridge for a final rise. You can cover it up with a damp cloth, but I find the best way to do it is to use a plastic, just very loosely, and I'm done with it. It's finished. It's going to go in the fridge until tomorrow, another 24 hours when I'm ready to bake it. This dough has been resting in the fridge for 24 hours. I let it sit at room temperature for about half an hour, and look at these beauties. So overall, it takes 2 days to make this dough, but it's worth it. The more time fermentation, the slower, the more flavor we're bringing into the dough. Now my oven has been preheating at 500 for about 45 minutes to an hour, so it's nice and hot. And I'm gonna start sheeting these out. Just one. I don't need any flour because it's holding itself really nice. But if it is sticking to the surface, just sprinkle a little bit flour. This is the kind of thickness that I do want, you see? I'm gonna go inside and pop these in the oven. My oven is nice and hot, and I'll see you inside. Show you how nice and soft that is. So good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my sourdough bread recipe as well.